Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Stainless Steel, the Portuguese campaign. Yes, so we had a stream, couple of hours, quite an eventful stream. A new king was in town after the death of King Enrique. His son, King Afonso, took control. He's now 48. And he oversaw, during that stream, quite the upheaval. We managed to take Granada via a well-orchestrated crusade, and we have effectively pushed the Moors out of Iberia. At least in terms of their military. There's still a few rogue imams floating around. We aim to deal with those in due course. So the plan now switches from defence, really, in terms of ensuring that we survive, especially after the issues with King Enrique's failed crusade. We were in a dangerous situation. Now we turn to our attentions rather to attack. We're taking the fight to the Moors in Africa, which is going to be their last bastion of defence. So before starting the session, I'm going to just go through a couple of things in terms of the king's planning and preparations. He's 48 now. He's knocking on a little bit. He's understanding that he's going to have to hand his reins over, but before he does, he just wants to ensure a couple more things are put into place in relation to his legacy. So we look to Oporto first of all, and I notice that we are teetering slightly near to the population required for the next level. And I keep recruiting troops here to send down into the front lines, and every time we recruit troops it takes from the population pool, so we're not really going to be able to upgrade this castle to the next level if we keep taking from the pool of the populace to send men down. So no more recruitment will be taking place in Oporto after these last couple of units. We will have a cease of recruitment here to allow the population to get over 4,000 so we can upgrade this castle to the next level. So that's the first edict, if you will, that the king is now putting into place. No more recruitment at Oporto. Instead, Badajoz, which has actually recently upgraded after surpassing 4,000, this can now be the main castle for recruitment. So everything is going to be churned out of here. We're going to have better units and hopefully slightly bigger recruitment pool due to the larger castle. And of course, upgrading to the next level after this is going to be miles away, so we don't have to worry about preserving the population too much. So Badajoz will be the main unit producing castle for now in this particular area. So that sorts out our castles. I know we do have a new one over there. We'll have to get to that in due course. It's going to be like the poor man's relation. In fact, we could actually convert Granada into a city. I don't think we need 3 castles here. I mean, you could argue that it could cover this side of the map if we ever end up in war with Aragon or Leon. But for now, I'm open to suggestions on this. So in the comments, let me know. Should we convert Granada to a settlement or leave it as a castle? I'm kind of thinking it could go either way. So we'll see what happens with that. Right, Lisbon then. So Lisbon, I've just noticed it was on a normal tax rate after I left the session off. Good old lazy Vitor, the prince in waiting, got the eye of the king. God knows why. Population growth is 1%. That's a little bit too low. And we're so close to getting this city, all these large towns, improved into I think it goes into a minor city next. So population growth is a bit of an issue. So we're actually going to take down the tax rate to boost the population growth, give them a bit of respite from tax, and then we're going to build the bakehouse, which offers an extra 0.5% to population growth and some extra happiness as well, which is always nice. So that is going to be the short-term plan for Lisbon to promote the population growth here so that we can upgrade it to the next level, if you will. Silves, that's a fair bit away, so this will be the city that or the town that we focus our efforts on in terms of the taxes. We'll just upgrade these buildings as and when we need to. Currently constructing a port. Cordoba, of course, is where the current young prince, the crown prince, Felipe the Chivalrous. He's here, a successful crusader, and hopefully we're going to fashion him into some form of military genius, hopefully. In my control, probably not, but we'll try. Population growth here is pretty low, but it's a large... It's a minor city, it's a city, so we're just going to boost the population growth with a variety of buildings as we progress on. Other than that, nothing really to report. We're going to be building the abbey next. The current king, of course, religious, and is wanting the first abbey across the land again to impress the Pope, if we ever need his services again for any crusades against the Moors down the line in Africa, perhaps. So we're going to be leaving Granada for now. We're just going to concentrate on the basics, which will be land clearance and churches, of course. And then after that, we may just put a hold on any further buildings, depending upon what we're going to do with it. Especially, it's a waste of money if we're going to plan on converting it into a town. And finally, we have Murcia. Murcia has been through the wars. It's been besieged. It's been bribed. We've almost lost it. We've clung on to it. But we've got a bit of stability there now. We're looking at building a church. The taxes are set to normal. The population growth is fairly healthy. So again, we'll just focus on the buildings that we need to promote growth, to promote some income as well. And of course, religion is number one. So yeah, that's looking pretty rosy there as well. One last thing before we move on. I did notice that in Cordoba we actually have a theologians guild. So if we're focusing on recruiting the best priests, the best bishops that we can possibly get, this should be the place we do it. And as such, our best bishop is actually in here already. Felipe de Mello for piety. Not bad to say that he's just been recruited not so long ago. So yeah, all further recruitment of our bishops may well come from here. So that is a bit of an overview in terms of the situation with our settlements and the king's current plans for each of them. He's making detailed notes, sending them to various advisors to ensure that his plans are enacted, because he is the man that runs things from behind the scenes, but he does it very efficiently, always with a plan in mind. So then we switch our attention to our military now, We need to get across here as quickly as possible and take the fight to the Moors before we have an opportunity to bolster their numbers even further. So first of all, what I have done is I have split the navy here. There was 3 ships. I have taken one of those ships down, to scout out a little bit what's going on down here. You can't really see. But second of all, to blockade their port. We are going to launch a full-scale attack on these guys, and that includes limiting their income wherever possible. So we're blockading all ports possible to severely cripple their economy whilst we are preparing to launch our full-scale attack. So that's Marrakesh, I believe. Only one unit in there. We can't see any troops on the road, so this could well be lightly defended, which means that we might launch our attack rather than coming straight through their stronghold. We might send some units on a ship, come down and strike them in the rear. We'll see what happens there. That might draw some of their forces down to help, to sort of support, and when they do that, we can then launch a second attack from here, like a pincer movement. But we'll get to that in due course. So that is the situation with the ships. We've just moved this ship a little bit further down to see what's going on, and we can see that this is another settlement somewhere around here. Look, the lands here are Moorish, Greater Algeria, so I think the Moors have 4 lands, possibly 5, depending on the actual map here. So what we'll see is we will see... let's have a quick peek here. This is a bit of an overview to start this session. I do apologise if you're expecting action. I thought I'd give you a roundup of what happened in the stream and where we are now, because it kind of a little bit frenetic towards the end. Yeah, so there's the overall ranking. We've now surpassed the Moors in the overall ranking for the first time, not so long ago, or even just in the last turn. Militarily, we're very even. So we have to be smart about how we go about our business. Production, we are above them. Territorially, we have... See, I don't know if that's actually 5 or 4. It's kind of like... I think that's 4, personally. I think that's actually 4. So if they do have 4 lands, we know exactly where they are. There's 2 here, there's 1 down here, and there's 1 somewhere round here, in this rather large area. We don't know exactly, but we know it's this way. It's not down south. We know that it's somewhere here. So this ship that we are recruiting in Mercia is going to be tasked with trying to find out where their last settlement is. And if there's a port, blockade the bugger. Okay, so there you go. There is the situation in terms of the military and the navy. I don't think we're going to need too many troops in our homelands sitting around idly. So we need a second force. This is the first force right here. Currently tasked with blockading the straits, preferably in a fort, but a bit of a fail in the last session. But we need a second force. We need a second force to back up this first force, pincer movements, providing reinforcements if necessary, and that of course is going to be the task of Felipe. So he's going to bandy together as many men as possible, with leaving the minimum amount behind to keep public order, and he's then going to use that to wage war on the Moors. So we're going to be focusing on that pretty sharpish, in fact. There's some spare troops here. There's some more troops coming from Porto. And the troops from Cordoba and any mercenaries we can get is probably going to be really all he's going to be able to fashion. So he's going to have maybe not quite a full stack, but near enough as possible as to a full stack. Some infantry is coming, some Bedouin infantry and desert cavalry from Granada as well. So in a couple of turns' time, he should have near enough to a full stack army. And as soon as that army is ready, then we're going to go. We're not going to dawdle and wait and wait for the situation to develop. We're going to take, as soon as this army is ready, we're going to go. Literally. All guns blazing as quickly as possible. Because our current king, before he pops his clogs, wants to be the one to get this show on the road. For his legacy, of course. And finally, before we do dive in, the family tree. Where do we stand currently? Well, we know that we have the current king who's 48. He has a legitimate son, Sancho, who's coming of age in 5 years' time, at age 14. It'll be interesting to see if the passes over to him, the crown, because it does say that he is the heir presumptive, more of a regent, but he does have an heir of royal blood. So if he comes of age, will that pass? I don't know. Hopefully it will. We'll see. At the moment, this lazy son of a gun is in a state of regency. Or he is the regent. Not in the regency, of course. Lawrence Lorenco Portella is the one that's leading the force at the fortification. He is another adopted son. He's not too bad. Not marvellous. But he's done a good job so far, to be quite honest. He's done what he's required. He's certainly done more than this man, who is becoming a bit of a bugbear, but he's been role-played as a man that's in the king's good favour. Whatever he's done, he is allowed a life of luxury. Very bizarrely, in fact. And here is young Felipe. He is the youngest brother of King Afonso here. And proper heir to the original king, not yet married, 19, chivalrous, the only man to release Moors after a battle, a crusader, and soon to be on the march again. So that's the situation with the family tree, and sorry that the introduction did take close to 15 minutes, but I thought I would give you that because we are now entering a new phase of the campaign. So that was a kind of an introduction to that new phase. Now we just have to see if our plans actually come into fruition, which is another ball game completely. Okay then, so I think what we're going to do is we are going to begin to move or organise this force here for the current Prince Felipe. We will call him by his official title. Get his army ready,
Noble Lord,
and see what it's made up of, just to kind of plan and prepare it. So we've got a load of Lusitanian javelmen who actually are pretty good in hand-to-hand combat as well as having a missile attack. So we can count them as a dual-purpose unit. We do actually want at least one set of ballista, if only because if we do lay siege to a settlement that we can auto-resolve, we don't have to wait for the siege equipment, and that will be very useful. It will slow the army down its movement quite considerably, but it's a necessary evil. Right, and then we've got a load of mercenaries, spearmen, Angeles and infantry and mercenaries, macemen and mercenaries. These are all taking up quite a bit of upkeep, to be quite honest with you, but we might as well use them. And one more unit there, so that should be enough. If we move him here for now, oh, it's a yellow face, but it should be enough to hold the public order situation in Cordoba. It takes the population growth down to the minus figures because Felipe was boosting that with his chivalry, but we'll work on that. It's not a catastrophe for now. It's not a catastrophe. It'll get in the positive eventually. So we've got room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more units. We've got 2 coming there. That's 5 more units required. So let's have a look here. 1, 2, 3. Disband them. In fact, before we do that, so they're coming down nicely. Public order's fine there. We could do with extra population for some better troops. So disband the peasants times 1. We'll keep 2 sets in there, I think. In fact, we can afford to disband another set of peasants. Not really going to do much in a fight anyway, so that's fine there. Okay. Getting some more troops there. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's got room for 3 more units. We'll probably pick up some mercenaries on the way. But we're almost there. I think within the next next 2-3 turns we'll have enough troops for him to make his full march. And I think we've got a couple of horses in there. We've got some archers, a couple of archers, loads of javelin men, foot soldiers, mercenaries. I think this is quite a nice balanced army as well. I don't know if I'm going to do some swapping of the armies over, because Lorenzo de Portela has actually got the Crusader troops coming down to him. And these are very nicely, heavily armoured knights, very elite soldiers that we have here. So I'm wondering whether we should give those to the actual crusading general, reunite them together for new endeavours. But we'll get to that in due course. Isn't this exactly how we started the stream? The end of the first turn of the stream, this same thing happened. The Sicilians came, they laid siege. It's happened again. First turn of this session, the same thing has happened. I do not believe it. I do not believe. What the hell is their problem? Their Pope needs to have a word with them. Oh, bollocks. Pardon the pun. We have a heretic in outside. We have a heretic right outside Cordoba. This is a great first turn to affairs. It is exactly not what we wanted to see happening here. Right. Let's go through the messages before I lose my temper. Things are going wrong, and we've not barely started this. I mean, the last session went so smoothly. I mean, you've got to take the rough with the smooth. Things were going to go wrong eventually. Church built in Granada, small church. He's become a passive ruler. No effects. He's not a... Yes, he's not moving in terms of actual... Wow, we're struggling to turn a profit here. We're struggling to turn a profit. We're struggling to turn a profit. Maybe our attention should turn to money making. The war effort is draining our coffers. Let's have a look at what that trait gives. 52 men in his bodyguard. Wasted. Yeah, there's just not a lot happening. Yeah, there's not a lot happening in his own personal life, other than signing a few papers and barking orders to advisors. But across the land, there's plenty happening. And he's overseeing it, he would have you know. People think he's lazy. He's not in the slightest. People do need to appreciate what he is bringing to the table. Right, I suppose Something like that will be in order. One more turn and they will go down to join the Felipe the Chivalrous. So we got 2 more. So 2 more, yeah. So we get a couple of mercenaries. He's a full stack then, isn't he? It looks like...
We will back you in battle, but this is... Greetings, my friend.
Looks like our allies here, the Aragonese, are boarding ships and sailing away from Granada after the successful crusade. Very good.
Well met
Very,
there,
very good. So yeah, what was I saying? Yes, this is the why. This is why I don't want too many priests around the lands, really. I know I'm role-playing it because he's a religious man, but these heretics I've heard in this game are pretty, yeah, pretty overpowered in some respects. I mean, he's 74, which is the only blessing, because he's going to probably die very shortly. And this looks like it was their imam that's turned, rather than our bishop. But if you try to denounce him with our bishop,
my lord,
it will be like really low percentage, and if he fails there's a chance, I think, that the bishop may turn to heresy as well. So we don't want to be using bishops to solve this problem. We need to use cardinals who can't be turned, but we don't have any cardinals right now, so the only alternative is to use assassins. Now our assassin is so poor that this is not a possibility. 10% chance. So I'm just going to have to hope and pray that he pops his clogs at age 74 in the next couple of turns.
Away with you, infidel.
Knowing our luck, he'll pray to some heretic god and he'll live to 115, just to cause grief in Cordoba. Catholicism isn't strong here. We're battling against the Islam, and therefore any heresy added to that is going to really impact on our public order situation. But we can't do anything right now about this, other than keep our fingers crossed. Right then, where's this new infantry that you speak of? There, and there.
How may I serve, Sultan?
Come, come forth, come. Right, okay, so we have a small chapel has been built in Granada, which means we're going to go now for the priest, and then we're going to upgrade it. Although, if we convert this into a town, will we benefit from the buildings that we already have, or will it tear everything down and start from scratch? I'm beginning to think we're probably going to keep this as a castle. Obviously, as you can see, we're having problems on this eastern flank, and therefore having a castle right here could well help us in the future. So I think we're going to keep this as a castle. I think this attack here has just tilted my decision making here. Right. Felipe, do we continue with our original plan and move down, or do we turn our attentions across to this Sicilian army? It's so very small, and we do have more troops in here now, including some cavalry. Perhaps we can recruit some more before they siege us? No. We do have the benefit of walls, and it's a very paltry force with only a battering ram. Is that going to be strong enough to breach? I'd probably say not, but I really don't want to risk it, and I hate to drain more money as we are really beginning to tilt away from 40,000 and we're going down and down and down. But Daimyo Pava has proven to be quite the useful diplomat, has he not, in the past,
We suspect you will waste our time.
in bribing away the opposition. It's a lot of money, but it just saves a hassle. It saves a hassle from having to deal with this threat. I'm thinking we could probably repel the attack if they launched the siege. But for 5,000 coin, we also get another couple of extra units that come over to our side that can bolster the garrison, dissuade them from attacking us any further with their paltry forces. I think we're going to do it.
Mutually beneficial. This concludes our meeting.
There we go, a couple more units to add to the garrison.
We will not surrender.
We're now down to below 30,000. Oh dear, is this going to be the king that bankrupts us? You can't have it all your own way. Right, we're going to move down here and start looking.
Yes, my lord.
Ah! Look at that. We found it. They don't have a port either. Excellent. That was very well charted, that course, Admiral Lucas. Who says you have no command, no skills at the high seas? You went straight there like you knew it was there. All right. Ooh. Look at that. They've got rebels in their lands. All this is just taking attention away from us very nicely. They are struggling with rebellions and rogue armies whilst we can prepare our troops ready for attack. It's all looking very nice, isn't it? Yes. All right. Righty. So we're waiting a couple more. We're waiting one more turn. One more turn for Felipe the Chivalrous. And he's going to get some crossbows whilst he's here. Why not? Because we need them. We need more troops. We want a full house. Just for completion's sake, I wanted to put a fort here, but I think forts are like 2,500. We really can't afford to be throwing money away right now. We're losing 8,000 this turn. I mean, it's quite frightening how things have just turned a little bit sour when it comes to the money situation. I think it's due to the amount of mercenaries that we have. Don't forget also that these are now full upkeep units because we're not on a crusade. So the amount of mercenary, we're probably paying about 2,000 to 3,000 florins in mercenary upkeep costs, which is why these armies need to be put to good use quickly, so that once we have conquered all we need to conquer, we can disband some of them. I'm thinking. Right, so that's building. Tax rates are fine there. This is building a church, and there's nothing else. We're recruiting a priest there as well. Granada's situation for the Catholicism is pretty dire, so that will be fine. We could recruit the priest in Cordoba. No, we can't recruit the priest in Cordoba because we've reached the capacity. Don't think we need the spear militia, so we'll hold off on that. We do potentially need another set of ships to take an army down to the backside here. So I think we'll recruit some more ships, and we're going to recruit one of each. I don't want it to be too weak in case we come across pirates or things. I don't want my army sunk in one swoop, which would be rather depressing. So we've got ships here to be carrying our troops down to Marrakesh. They're probably going to take Felipe down there. I mean, it's not quite the glamorous job taking the enemy in the rear. It's a little bit underhanded, but it gets some more command on his radar, taking another settlement, having another victory. So yeah, that seems good to me. Building work is underway for all settlements that we're aware of. So I think I'll continually save it like I did during the stream, just because I'm wary of game crashes. Right, my assassin. Where is my assassin? Did I move him down? Where is he? Assassin. Where are you? Spy. Spy. Bishop. Assassin. Where is he? Why could I not see you? Right, we need him to get some skill. He's not got enough skill to take down this man. 29%? That's like one in 3. Oh, there's him, 18%. Right, we're going to chance this. Fortune favours the bold. And we have to start somewhere.
Name the target, and it shall be removed.
We could have taken some lowly captains at a chance of like nearly enough 50%. But, nah. If he's going to be a great assassin, he's going to have to start as he means to go on. And this is the biggest issue at the moment. Imams running rampant, turning into heretics and at the drop of a hat. Not good. And especially if we wipe out the Moors and they have imams, do they vanish or do they instantly turn to heretics? Because if they instantly turn to heretics, we need these gone before we take the last settlement of the Moors. All needs to be borne in mind. Let's see what the Moors do. That's the only faction. We really need to probably start patrolling Mercia with some ships as well. If the Sicilians have done this twice to us, chances are they're probably going to try again. Okay, yes. Die! Oh, no. I wanted them to die. Oh, so we've got heretics, we've got imams, and we've got our bishop preaching 3 different religions in Cordoba. Is that the Aragonese ships that are sailing towards northern Africa? Can't be. Are they planning on taking some lands of the Moors in northern Africa? The King of Scotland has bit the dust, as is the Polish senior duke, and the King of Norway. Not a good time to be a leader, it seems. Alright, another turn, and a blue face I see here in Silvers, which is really marvellous, because we really could do with the money, and we can't really... This is the tester now. I don't believe we're building any new buildings or recruiting any new troops at this moment in time, and therefore this is our base income with no activity. Yeah, we're already in a negative. It tells you exactly what we're spending money on, and army upkeep is a whopping chunk of that. As I said, probably a third of this is mercenary troops. We're going to have to ditch the mercenaries as quickly as possible. We've got too many. Too many. Okay, so Kingdom of Scotland are at war with the Holy Romans. That's a war that you really don't want to be starting. Allies, Norway, Venice, Leon and the Papal States. I dare not even put the commentator's curse on me. I don't know why I'm saying it. I don't know why I'm trying to curse myself on purpose here. But do you know what would really throw a massive cat amongst a very small group of pigeons? Would be if Leon decided that they wanted to take us down a peg or two. That will be catastrophic. A priest has been recruited, Joaquim Almeida, for piety. In Granada? Don't tell me Granada has a theologian's guild as well. Can't be. I don't believe so. No. Caravan stop, what does that do? Increasing tradable goods. No, I don't think they do. They've just produced a competent bishop. Yes, look, Royal Seminarian. What the hell is one of them? A Royal Seminarian. A pious presence. +1 to unorthodoxy. It's not good, but overall, not too shabby. We'll take it. We'll take it. End of term report. Why not? We're in green for everything. You know, we're breaking the top 10 for production. You know, we're going places. Overall, we're 12th. I think we started. What was it? Was it 20th or 80 on 18 factions, 20 factions? We're almost like the halfway house. You know, we're making great strides. And Sancha de Portugal as Pascal Berenguer, she was attracting many suitors, all of whom were donned with Zimmer frames and the medieval version of wheelchairs. She couldn't find a potential young whippersnapper that found her attractive enough, and she just vanished into the ether. Was the forgotten about sister. Oh, look at that! He's got grey hairs. He's got grey. Whoa! Just like his father, his authority. I think he started off around about 6 when he took control. Now is maximum. 10 authority. I think people are beginning to realise yes, he may be a passive ruler, but he's a man that gets things done. And when he says he wants something doing, by gum, you better do it. And that includes lopping off the head of imams at the drop of a hat. This is going to be the last one we see of these. Please, hit him! Hit him! Yes! Well done, lad! Well Lord, have we found a new genius assassin? Unfortunately, due to the turns being 1 year per turn, we're not going to see him for as long as we would like, potentially. But look at that! He's taken down one of the thorns in our side. Silvers can thrive almost, not quite, because there's still one more in the midst. But let's have a look. +2 to subterfuge, a poisoner. Look at that. Oh, it went from 1 subterfuge to 4 in 1 strike. Oh yes. We like that. Oh, now how much... We can't do it this turn, but we'll see what it takes now to pop this man off.
As do I.
Oh, that's a glorious piece of news. Right. What do we do? Someone to see? Someone to bribe? Yes, the splinter cell is forming slightly here. We have the spy, we have the diplomat. All we need now is the assassin and the priest, and then we have a full contingent of agents to wreak havoc on the Moors' lands. But I don't think we need to do that. Okay, so next piece of business then is to focus on the building work, and considering that we're really quite brassic right now, we will prioritise. Retrain the troops? No, we don't need to. We're not anticipating these guys really doing anything spectacular. We'll take them down to Bada Jaws. We don't need them all now because we have the army already that's going to go out and do the business. But we'll have them there to mobilise if a threat occurs closer to home that we're unaware of. So Porto is done. Tax rate normal. Recruitment, we're not going to do any more. Construction, no more construction there either. We're just waiting for this place to grow at 2%. With a king overseeing things with his great authority. I did want a bakehouse here because population increase would be useful, but seeing as we're so close, we disband these peasants, and that puts us up to 9. It should do next turn. It should put us up to 9,400, right? Because we've just disbanded 200 troops, 200 men back into the populace. So I don't think we need the bakehouse now because we're so close. In fact, we're going to put the tax up. We're that close that we're going to risk it and put the tax up here because we really need a bit of extra coin. Takes us not quite into the positive, but it's all hands to the pump. And again, we're not going to spend money on retraining just right now. So we don't need these two. We don't need the bakehouse. Blacksmith is not really necessary. And a ballista maker, nah, not for now. Not for now. So Lisbon can wait as it is. We're only focusing on our priorities here. Normal tax rate, yes, it's a blue phase, but it's not a red phase, and therefore they shall have to remain discontent. Rumblings, murmurings, let them murmur, let them rumble. Not our problem. In terms of recruitment, in terms of construction, sorry, all of these are pretty viable options, really. The town hall is cheap. It gives public order and public health, and it enables the recruitment of a... I think this is cheap and cheerful, and it's a very important building, so I think we'll go for that. We can just about splash the cash on something as cheap as that. So that's definitely there. Bada Jaws has recently been upgraded, and we should really start focusing our efforts on something here. But I think we'll wait a turn. We can recruit some semi-decent troops here. We can recruit mailed knights already, and Jeanettes and javelin men. You know, so we're not absolutely urgent for these buildings to be built. Knights stables, okay, that increases our Jeanettes available. Drill square, light men at arms, they'll be new. Increasing experience of our spear militia, increasing the max available for our javelin men and Lusitanian javelin men, which we can already recruit. Practice range enables us to recruit crossbows and regular archers rather than just levy archers, I think. So that'll be good. So we need those buildings. They're going to give us extra units and increase our unit cap. So in due course. After the chapel, of course, because that's the priority. We need men saying their prayers and eating their vitamins, as Colgan used to say. Cordoba. We want an abbey. We want an abbey now. We can actually upgrade the mines as well. Wow. Mining network. Yeah. Religion in Cordoba is a problem. We have heresy. We have Islam. It's an ongoing battle, and this is a priority. Yes, we can't really afford a great deal, but if we're going to build something in this land that's going to drain the coffers, it's got to be an abbey in Cordoba. So that gets sanctioned regardless. That's fine. And that's fine. In fact, that can go to a high tax rate. Retrading, no. Right. This is a... Yeah. Do you know what? High tax rate. They've had sieges. They've had briberies. And now they're getting squeezed for every penny. It's the uncle you don't like. It's the bad egg of the family. The one that always gets overlooked. The one that causes a night nuisance. They're being dealt a cruel blow. But needs must. We must spread the pain across the land. Okay. In the ships, young man. In the ships. In the ships. We are going forth to cause devastation. Oh yeah we are. Oh yeah we are. We're going forth to cause devastation. Okay. Let me see here.
Who is to disappear today?
Let me see here. We'll march closer to this man.
Yes,
So that the next turn we can perhaps see what we need to do with him. Can we recruit another assassin? Where can we recruit assassins from? Was it Lisbon? No. You see, because we've only got one inn or whatever it is that we need to build assassins. We need more inns. We need more inns, man. We need more assassins running around, lopping heads of imams off. That's what we need. More head lopping. Can you believe Damio Pave is still alive? He's 69. He's 69 and he's still kicking. I'm thinking, if he's going to pop his clogs soon, I'm wondering if we can just quickly run down with him to Africa. Maybe bribe a settlement away from them. As his last act. I'm going to chance it. No to lose. There's no to lose. They've got their own diplomat here now. He's not very good, but he'll do. Just in case we need some diplomacy over there. Yeah. Damio Pava is hot-footing it down into the Moorish lands to see if he can perhaps bribe away a settlement from them as his final blow.
Your orders?
Should we take him by sea? It'd be quicker. Could be a waste of money. We'll take him down. We'll take him down with the army and see. Maybe even if he just bribes a couple of rogue armies away, maybe just one more bribe. I just want to do one more bribe with him. I know it's not cost efficient, but just one more act. He's 69 for God's sake. He needs a swan song. He needs a swan song. I didn't save it. This will be where it crashes then. Come on. This is like waiting for your name to be called in the dentist's when you're going to have a really painful procedure. You know it's coming. You just don't know when. Right, this is the final turn of the session. As I say, I do kind of apologise to some respects that it's been a slow-paced affair. Oh, we have a bride! We have a bride for the chivalrous Felipe! It's taken this long? This man is the epitome of what it is to be good. Maybe he's been picky. Anyway, Margarida de Lemos, come forth and marry. Our King of England's passed away again. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. As ever we look at the family tree. 2 more years for Sancho de Portugal to come of age. When we wait with bated breath to see if he does actually get past the crown. I hope he does. It would be very good if he does. But here he is, look. Felipe the Chivalrous. 22. Still with his chivalry. His loyalty's not bad. The reason why it's not higher is because he knows full well his brother does not favour him. He sent him to the front lines to do the dirty work, whereas this Vitor, lazy character, just sitting in a life of luxury, kind of resents that, and therefore, yes, he's loyal because he's blood relation, but he's not stoked. We're not going to recruit any more mercenaries, we really can't afford it, and we've gone from 40,000, at one point we had over 40,000. About maybe 5-6 turns ago during the stream. We're now almost half of that in a handful of turns. This could well be code red. This could well be code red in terms of our situation for money.
Your Majesty.
It's looking pretty grim.
My lord.
It's looking pretty grim. Right, I'm not going. What have we done to piss off Sicily? Seriously, why? In fact, what we should have done, well, they wouldn't have accepted a ceasefire when they were attacking us, but we need to seek out a ceasefire. Popey, yeah, look at that. Even when your own Pope looks down upon you as a faction leader of that kingdom, you know you're doing something wrong. He's attacked perhaps the faction that has the Pope's good grace, Portugal, building all the churches, building an abbey, recruiting all those priests in a short space of time, capturing Granada for the crusade. We are the class pet. What we call it, teacher's pet. We are the teacher's pet of the Catholic world. If there's one faction you don't attack, if there's one person you don't bully, it's the teacher's pet. Stupid fools. Excommunicate them and we have a new target to take down once we've stomped them all into the mud. Right. Polish cardinal passes away, which opens the door. Perhaps, Mr. Pope, you can finally do the good thing and perhaps promote one of our bishops to cardinalship as a form of goodwill. That would be very nice. Right, unit recruitment in Badajoz. Mission fail. What mission? Oh, we didn't convert enough people. I'm sorry, Popey, I was very busy. I tried. You can see I'm building churches and recruiting priests. I'm doing my best here. You know. Please don't hold it against me. Look at that. Look at that. We are the worst faction. With 23,000 florins, we are the poorest faction in the world with 23,000. There's a lot of money flying around somewhere. Kingdom of Sicily are the most rich. And we're at war with them. that doesn't bode well, I don't think. That's maybe why they can afford to send ships across and attack low-life settlements such as Mercia. No offence if you live there. Calling you low-life, of course. The king appreciates your efforts. Keep bringing the taxes in and we shall allow you existence. Right, so I'm not going to do any building work this session now. We've gone through the settlements. We'll do that at the start of the next one. But what we will do is we will prepare ourselves for the upcoming session, which will be the invasion of Africa. Because we're going to turn and we're going to do it. We were going to swap around the units, but it's too much of a faff, and I don't want to waste movement points. So the Felipe the Chivalrous, yes, he doesn't have his crusaders, but he doesn't need them. He wants to capture lands for the good of our people. In the navy he goes. So in the next turn, he shall sail down, unless my advisors perhaps put forward other plans that I'm missing in the meantime. But for now, the plan is to sail down, dock here, and take Marrakesh. It's a long way away from home, and it's completely and utterly Muslim, but so which means we're going to struggle to move our army from here because it's going to be a situation where the populace are going to be unhappy, and we can't leave we're going to have to leave him there to garrison and turn this populace over. So it's a bit of a binding situation for old Felipe, and it might tie him up and prevent him from actually launching an attack anywhere else. I'm thinking, given that fact, that we might in the next session swap around kind of generals here, and we'll have Lorenzo Portella, in fact, go down and do the dirty work down here with the army and the ship already, and we'll take Felipe out, put him here, and then have him slightly more glamorous and launch a full-scale attack right down the middle. Let me know your thoughts on that one. I'm thinking sending our Felipe down here to the deepest, darkest depths of Africa and being tied up with an unhappy populace might not be quite fitting for his status. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that one. But yes, so by hook or by crook, this is getting underway, and we're doing it in the next session. We're going down with 2 armies into Africa, and we're going to have to, to beat them down like the dogs that they are. There's Iran here, there's Melilla there. It's just set up nicely. So yeah, advice is welcome. Any advice about anything, of course. Building work, how to address the situation with the money. Any harebrained schemes? If we are taking settlements, we can sack them, of course. Gain some coin that way, so it's not absolute panic stations just yet. And of course, let me know your tips, your hints, your advice regarding the invasion of Africa. Is there anything I need to consider? Any tactics that you might have in mind? My positioning? Should we go on the fringes for both? Take Iran maybe, and Marrakesh, or send both armies through the middle and just take down the bulk of the Moorish threat in one go, and perhaps pick off the outlying settlements later on? I will appreciate all suggestions and all advice, and the king will heed the advice and make his decision in the next session. So until then, see you soon.